Let's talk about something that holds so many people back, the habit of choosing what's not choosing. Now, what do I mean by that? There are choices you make in life that, quite frankly, are no choice at all. They're simply reactions, defaults, or the result of going with the flow instead of actively deciding your future. If you're not choosing, then you're letting life choose for you, and trust me, that's a slippery slope. Many of us get comfortable with the idea of doing nothing because in doing so, it feels like we're avoiding risks or challenges. But that's a mirage. It's not a choice, it's avoidance. When we avoid making a real decision, we're not gaining ground. In fact, we're losing it. Now think about the consequences of always choosing what's not choosing. By not making a decision, we're allowing the world and the circumstances to dictate our direction. But true success only comes when you are in the driver's seat. Your choices shape your future. If you allow fear or hesitation to control you, then you're essentially choosing to let life choose for you. The moment you stop choosing what's not choosing is the moment you take control. It's time to stop waiting for the right moment, for the stars to align, or for the perfect opportunity. You must decide that your time is now. So what does it look like to stop choosing what's not choosing? It means taking ownership of your decisions. It means deciding what you want out of life, then taking the actions that reflect that decision. If you aren't actively deciding, you're simply allowing circumstances and other people to decide for you. Let me tell you, that's a dangerous game. The future is made up of the choices you make today. If you're not choosing, you're wasting your time and energy on things that don't move you forward. It's time to make a decision. It's time to stop choosing what's not choosing. Every time you delay making a choice, you're actually choosing to do nothing, which means you're choosing to let life happen to you. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens because of you. Don't let external circumstances make decisions for you. Your future is shaped by the choices you make today. Waiting for the right moment is just another form of procrastination. Stop waiting for clarity. Take the first step, commit to a decision, and the path will unfold. Fear keeps many people in the state of indecision, but remember, staying where you are is worse than failing. Time is the one thing you can't get back. Stop wasting it by avoiding decisions that could propel you forward. The more you decide, the more momentum you build. Action leads to results, and results lead to progress. Every opportunity you pass on because of indecision is a missed chance to grow and move forward. You can dream all you want, but without decisions and actions, dreams remain just that, dreams. Success is found in what you do, not in what you think about. Your future is in your hands. Stop letting circumstances or other people dictate your life. Take responsibility for your choices and shape your destiny. Indecision is not a neutral state, it's a decision in itself. Many people believe that by not making a choice, they're somehow avoiding mistakes or the responsibility of committing to something. But in reality, choosing not to decide is still making a choice. It's choosing inaction over action, comfort over growth, safety over risk. And while it may seem like the safer route, it's actually a path that leads nowhere. When you refuse to make a decision, you're letting the world around you make it for you. Opportunities slip by, time is wasted, and you remain stuck. People don't realize that the moment you choose not to choose, you're allowing circumstances, other people, and even chance to shape your future. Life will continue to move forward, with or without your decisions. The question is, will you be directing your life, or will you let life happen to you? Indecision feeds on fear, the fear of making the wrong choice, of failing, of stepping out of your comfort zone. But let me tell you this, failing to choose is a much worse fate. The pain of inaction is far greater than the temporary discomfort of making a decision that might not go perfectly. The truth is, if you keep sitting on the fence, you're guaranteeing you won't get anywhere. No progress comes from hesitation. You can't sit and wait for the perfect decision or the perfect moment, because that moment will never come. The only perfect moment is the one you make right now by choosing to move forward, by deciding to take action, by deciding to stop letting fear and uncertainty control you. So understand that indecision is not a safe haven. It's a decision that guarantees stagnation. The key to progress, to success, and to growth is to make a choice, any choice. Then take responsibility for it, learn from it, and keep moving. Your future will thank you for it. Choosing to take control is the first step toward creating the life you want. Too many people go through life as if they're waiting for permission, waiting for the stars to align, or waiting for the perfect conditions. But the truth is, if you're waiting for everything to be just right, you'll wait forever. Life is not something that happens to you, it's something that happens because of you. And it starts with the decision to take control. When you make the choice to take control, you're telling the world that you're no longer going to be a passive participant in your own life. You're stepping into the driver's seat and setting the direction. Too often, people are content to let circumstances, other people, or even random events dictate the course of their lives. But when you choose to take control, you're no longer at the mercy of external forces. You are the force. You create your own path, your own opportunities, and your own future. Taking control means making conscious decisions about where you want to go and how you're going to get there. It's about being proactive, not reactive. You have to stop letting life just happen to you and start making it happen. This doesn't mean you won't face obstacles. Of course you will. But when you're in control, you approach challenges with a sense of purpose and clarity. You don't waste time waiting for things to get easier. You face them head on, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. When you choose to take control, you're also choosing responsibility. No one else can build your dreams for you. No one else can make the decisions that will shape your future. The moment you realize that your future is in your hands, you begin to understand the power of your choices. You stop blaming others for where you are, and you stop using circumstances as an excuse. You take full ownership of your life, and that is a game changer. So take control. Make decisions with intention. If you don't take the reins, someone else will. You can either choose to create your own destiny or let life decide it for you. And let me tell you, there's no better feeling than knowing you're the one shaping your life, your future, and your success. Action is where all the power lies. It's the great equalizer that separates the dreamers from the doers, the thinkers from the achievers. No matter how great your ideas are, how clear your goals might seem, or how much potential you have, none of that matters if you don't take action. It's the difference between having a plan and making progress. Ideas without action are nothing but wishes. You see, every goal, every dream, every aspiration begins with a thought. But that thought means absolutely nothing until you put it into motion. It's like having a car that looks beautiful in the driveway, but unless you start the engine, you'll never get anywhere. The power is in the motion, the steps you take every day toward making that idea a reality. Now, action doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, perfection is an illusion. The key is consistency and forward momentum. Take the first step, then the next, and the next. It doesn't matter how small the steps are, it only matters that you keep moving. Inaction will get you nowhere. But when you take action, you start building momentum. And with momentum comes progress. Progress leads to results, and results lead to success. But here's the catch: action isn't always easy. It's easy to get motivated when things are going well, but when obstacles show up and action becomes harder, that's when most people freeze up. They wait for things to get better, or they look for a sign that it's time to act. But the truth is, the sign is already there. The sign is that you know what you need to do. The real question is, are you willing to act? The power of action also lies in its ability to teach. When you act, you learn. When you try, you fail. And when you fail, you improve. This is how success is built. Not through avoiding mistakes, but through making them, learning from them, and trying again. The more you act, the more you refine your approach. The more you try, the sharper you become. In the end, action is what separates intention from achievement. Everyone has dreams, but not everyone takes the steps necessary to turn those dreams into reality. The power of action is in its ability to transform your life, to move you from where you are to where you want to be. It's time to stop thinking about what you want to do and start doing it. The power is in your hands, but it won't do you any good if you don't act. Clarity doesn't come from endless planning or waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from commitment. Too many people sit on the sidelines, waiting for a flash of insight or a stroke of luck that will give them the perfect plan. They wait for a sign that they're on the right path, when in reality, the sign is in the action you take, the decision to commit. Commitment is what lights the way. When you commit to something, you're not just setting a goal or outlining a dream, you're giving it life. You're saying, this is the direction I'm going, and I will figure out the details along the way. When you make that commitment, you create a foundation for everything else. You build a roadmap by actually walking it. This is when the fog begins to lift and the path becomes clearer. But that only happens when you commit, not when you hesitate or wait for everything to be perfect. Too many people confuse clarity with certainty. They think they need to have everything figured out before they can take action. But real clarity comes from the willingness to commit, even when the whole picture isn't in focus. When you make a decision and commit to it, the next steps will reveal themselves. It's only by taking action that you will see the results and learn what works and what doesn't. With each step, you gain more clarity, you refine your approach, and you build your confidence. Commitment is what allows you to press forward, even when things don't seem clear. It's the fire that keeps you moving when the road gets rough. Commitment isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to step into the unknown, knowing that every action you take will bring more clarity and more understanding. If you keep waiting for the right conditions to show up, or for all the details to align perfectly, you'll stay stuck. The real truth is that clarity doesn't come until you make the decision to move forward. It's through the process of committing that you gain the understanding you need to make adjustments, refine your strategy, and keep progressing. So stop waiting for clarity to come to you. Stop waiting for the perfect plan to fall into your lap. Commit first, and let the clarity follow. The moment you commit to something, the fog begins to clear, and you start seeing exactly where you need to go. The key to success isn't waiting for everything to line up perfectly, it's committing fully and taking action, even when you don't have all the answers. Once you do that, the rest will take care of itself. Fear of failure is one of the most powerful forces that keep people stuck. It paralyzes them, keeps them from taking action, and convinces them that staying where they are is safer than stepping out into the unknown. But here's the truth: fear of failure isn't keeping you safe, it's keeping you stagnant. It's like being in a prison with the door wide open, but being too scared to walk through it. The fear of what could go wrong stops you from discovering what could go right. Everyone experiences fear, it's a natural response to the unknown. But the key is not to let fear dictate your life. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple: successful people don't let fear stop them. They understand that failure is a part of the process. In fact, they embrace it. They know that every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. The real failure isn't falling down. The real failure is never trying at all because you're afraid of making a mistake. Fear of failure keeps you in a comfort zone where nothing changes. It tricks you into thinking that avoiding risks will somehow keep you safe, but what it really does is keep you from living up to your potential. The more you fear failure, the more you avoid taking the necessary steps to succeed. And that avoidance leads to a life of unfulfilled dreams, unrealized potential, and regret. If you're constantly worried about failure, you'll never take the leap necessary for growth. You'll never push yourself to try something new, to take a chance, or to move beyond your current limitations. But once you start accepting that failure as part of the journey, once you stop fearing it and start learning from it, that's when you start making progress. The most successful people aren't the ones who never fail, they're the ones who fail and keep going. They understand that failure isn't a reflection of their ability, but an indicator of their willingness to try, to push boundaries, and to grow. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's a signal that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, that you're pushing yourself to new heights. And each time you fail, you gain something valuable: experience, resilience, and knowledge that you wouldn't have had if you'd stayed safe. The more you learn from your mistakes, the better you become. So the next time fear of failure creeps in, remind yourself that failure is just a stepping stone on the path to success. Don't let it hold you back, let it propel you forward. Remember, the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of failure. If you don't take risks, if you don't fail, you're missing out on the most important part of success: growth. Fear of failure is what keeps you stuck. Embracing failure is what propels you forward. The sooner you realize that failure is not your enemy, but a necessary companion on the road to success, the sooner you'll break free from stagnation and start moving toward the life you're meant to create. Indecision is one of the most insidious thieves of time. It may seem harmless at first, like a small hesitation, a moment of uncertainty, but over time it adds up. Every minute you spend wondering what to do, weighing your options without taking action, is a minute you'll never get back. And before you know it, days, weeks, or even years have gone by, and you're no closer to your goals than you were when you started. Indecision doesn't just waste time, it steals your opportunity to make progress. The real cost of indecision is not just in the time spent in limbo, but in the missed opportunities. While you're stuck in the cycle of overthinking and second-guessing, life is moving forward. Others are making decisions, taking action, and seeing results. Meanwhile, you're standing still, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. But let me tell you something: making no choice at all is the wrong choice. It's the choice of doing nothing, and that's the most dangerous path you can take. Every moment of indecision is a moment of wasted potential. Think about it: how many times have you delayed a decision because you wanted to be absolutely certain that it was the right one? The truth is, you'll never have perfect certainty. Life isn't about waiting for all the stars to align. It's about taking what you know, making the best decision you can, and moving forward. Action breeds clarity, and clarity comes from making decisions, not from waiting for everything to be perfect. The real problem with indecision is that it creates a habit. You get comfortable in that space of uncertainty, and before long it becomes easier to keep waiting than to take action. But that waiting doesn't lead to progress, it leads to stagnation. The longer you hesitate, the further away your goals get. Time keeps ticking away, and before you know it, the opportunity you were considering has passed, and you're left with nothing but regret. Here's the simple truth: the more time you waste, the more opportunities slip through your fingers. Time is your most precious resource, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. The most successful people understand this. They make decisions quickly, even if they don't have all the answers. They take action, and they learn from their experiences. Indecision isn't a luxury you can afford if you want to live a life of purpose and fulfillment. So the next time you're faced with a decision, don't sit there paralyzed by uncertainty. Make the best decision you can with the information you have and move forward. Even if you make mistakes, you'll be further ahead than you would have been if you stayed stuck in indecision. Time is moving, and the longer you wait, the more you lose. Take control of your time by taking control of your decisions. Don't let indecision rob you of the life you could be living. Momentum is the force that drives success, and it all starts with the choices you make. Too often people wait for momentum to show up as if it's something that happens to them. But here's the truth: momentum doesn't come from external factors. It comes from the decisions you make every single day. Every choice you make, big or small, either builds momentum or slows you down. The more choices you make, the more momentum you create, and the more unstoppable you become. When you're moving forward, when you're making decisions and taking action, you create a snowball effect. Each choice you make adds to the momentum, making the next choice easier, the next step clearer, and the next action more powerful. Momentum is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. When you decide to take action, even in the face of uncertainty or discomfort, you create momentum. The more you make those choices, the more progress you see, and the more momentum you build. But here's the thing: momentum doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's not a magical force that's granted to a lucky few. Momentum is the result of consistent decisions and actions. It comes from having the discipline to choose to move forward every day, no matter how small the steps may seem. The act of choosing to take one step forward, no matter how small, creates the energy that propels you forward into the next step, and the next, and the next. People often think they need to make big, life-altering decisions to get things moving. But the truth is, it's the small choices, the daily decisions, that make the biggest impact. Deciding to get out of bed earlier, to put in an extra hour of work, to stay focused on your goals, those are the decisions that start the chain reaction. You don't need to know exactly how everything is going to turn out. All you need to do is make the next choice, and then the next, and let the momentum take care of the rest. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect conditions or for inspiration to strike before they act. That's not how momentum works. Momentum is built through action, not waiting. It's the decision to keep going, even when things are tough. That creates the momentum that keeps you moving forward. The more decisions you make, the more momentum you build, and the more you accomplish. It's a cycle that keeps growing and compounding. If you want to succeed, you need to get moving. Don't wait for everything to be perfect or for the right moment to come. The right moment is now. Make the decision to act. Take one step, then another, and soon you'll find that momentum is on your side. You'll begin to notice that things start happening for you. Doors begin to open. Opportunities show up. People begin to take notice. That's the power of momentum. And it all starts with the choices you make today. The key to success is not waiting for momentum to come to you. It's creating it through the decisions you make, one after another. No decision is a missed opportunity. Every time you hesitate, every time you delay, you're giving up the chance to move forward, to learn, and to grow. Life doesn't wait for you to make up your mind. It moves forward with or without you. And every moment you spend stuck in indecision, you're not just standing still, you're falling behind. Opportunities don't wait around for people who can't decide. They move on to the next person, the next group, the next decision maker. The world is full of opportunities, but they're always moving. If you don't make a decision and act on it, you miss out. It's as simple as that. We often think that if we don't make a decision, we're protecting ourselves from failure, from making a mistake. But the truth is, indecision is the greatest failure of all. It's a failure to act, a failure to take responsibility for your life, and a failure to step up and take control. It's like sitting in a car with the engine running but never putting it in gear. You can sit there all day thinking about where you want to go, but you won't get anywhere until you make a choice and start moving forward. Missed opportunities add up over time, and before you know it, years have passed and you've missed the chance to make a difference, to create something meaningful, or to experience something new. People don't realize how much time they lose when they put off making decisions. The longer you wait, the more opportunities slip away, and eventually the chance to take action may be gone forever. Making decisions isn't always easy. In fact, it often feels uncomfortable, especially when you don't have all the answers. But here's the key: you don't need to have all the answers right now. What you need is the courage to make a choice. Any choice. And trust that the details will unfold as you move forward. The more decisions you make, the more you learn, and the clearer your path becomes. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll find that opportunities have come and gone before you even had the chance to act. Decisions are not just about picking the right path, they're about building momentum. Every time you make a decision, you're setting something in motion. You're telling yourself that you are in control, that you have the power to shape your future, and that you're willing to take the risks necessary for growth. The more you make decisions, the more you build confidence in your ability to create the life you want. And with each decision, you get closer to your goals, closer to your success, and closer to the person you want to become. So stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect decision. Every moment of indecision is a missed opportunity, and the cost of missed opportunities is far greater than the temporary discomfort of making the wrong decision. The most successful people are the ones who make decisions, who take action, and who move forward, even when things are uncertain. Don't let indecision rob you of your potential. Make a decision today and start moving toward the life you've been waiting for. Success isn't something that happens by chance. It's something you create through action. Too many people sit around waiting for the perfect moment, hoping for the stars to align, or thinking that success will somehow come to them. But that's not how it works. Success requires one thing above all else: action. Without it, your dreams remain nothing more than wishes, your goals remain unfulfilled, and your potential remains untapped. Action is what turns ideas into reality. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. You can read all the books, listen to all the motivational speakers, and have all the strategies in the world, but none of it means anything until you take action. The most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who take consistent, determined action toward their goals. They understand that success is built on doing, not wishing. It's not about what you know, it's about what you do with what you know. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for the perfect conditions. They think they need to have all the information, all the resources, or all the support before they take the first step. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect conditions is just another form of procrastination. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and setbacks along the way. But the people who succeed are the ones who take action anyway. They don't wait for things to be just right. They start with what they have and they figure it out as they go. Taking action also means taking responsibility for your results. Success doesn't just come from wishing for it or hoping that someone else will make it happen for you. It's your responsibility to take the steps necessary to achieve what you want. No one else is going to do it for you. The sooner you realize that your future is in your hands, the sooner you'll begin to take the kind of action that leads to success. Action is the key that unlocks your potential and moves you closer to your goals every day. And remember, action doesn't have to be perfect. People often fear that their efforts won't be good enough, that they'll make mistakes, or that they won't succeed. But that's the wrong way to look at it. Perfection doesn't exist. What matters is progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, gets you closer to where you want to be. It's through action that you learn, adjust, and grow. You don't need to know exactly how everything will turn out. You just need to start taking action and let the process teach you. Success isn't for the passive, it's for the doers. It's for those who are willing to roll up their sleeves, put in the work, and take the necessary steps toward their goals. The road to success may be long, and it may be hard, but the reward is worth it. If you want to achieve anything in life, whether it's building wealth, improving your health, or achieving personal growth, you need to take action. Without it, your goals will always be out of reach. It's time to stop thinking about what you want to do and start doing it. Success is waiting for you, but it won't come to you unless you take action. If you want to build the future you dream of, it all starts with taking responsibility. Too many people are waiting for someone else to change their situation, to give them a break, or to fix their problems. But here's the hard truth. The only person responsible for your future is you. No one else is going to make it happen for you. And no one else is going to care about your dreams more than you do. Success starts when you take full ownership of your life, your choices, and your outcomes. Taking responsibility for your future means realizing that your current situation, no matter how good or bad it may be, is the result of the choices you've made up until this point. That's not to say that circumstances haven't played a part. Life does throw its challenges at us, but ultimately you are where you are because of the decisions you've made or haven't made up until now. This may be tough to hear, but it's also empowering. Because if you're responsible for where you are, that means you're in control of where you're going. You have the power to change, to improve, and to build the future you desire. Taking responsibility means stopping the blame game. It means not pointing fingers at your past, your parents, your boss, or your circumstances for where you are today. Blame only keeps you stuck. It keeps you locked in a cycle of victimhood, unable to take meaningful action. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your life. It's a shift from I can't to I will, a shift that allows you to take full control of your destiny. Once you take responsibility, you stop waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap. You stop waiting for things to just happen. Instead, you go out and create those opportunities. You look for ways to improve, learn, grow, and make things happen for yourself. Taking responsibility is about making the decision to get things done, even when the going gets tough. You'll face obstacles along the way, that's a given, but how you respond to those challenges is your responsibility. It's up to you whether you let them stop you or whether you use them as stepping stones on your way to success. Taking responsibility for your future also means being proactive, not reactive. It's about planning ahead, setting goals, and taking consistent action to achieve them. You can't sit back and wait for life to give you the life you want. If you do, you'll be waiting forever. You have to make it happen. You have to decide what you want and then take the necessary steps every day to move closer to that goal. It's about being intentional with your time, your resources, and your energy. The great thing about taking responsibility is that it gives you control over your life. Once you realize that your future is in your hands, you can begin to make choices that align with your vision. You can start making the kind of decisions that move you in the right direction and not letting distractions or excuses pull you off course. No one can stop you unless you let them. Taking responsibility for your future means accepting that it's up to you to make things happen. It's not easy. It requires discipline, hard work, and focus. But the reward is worth it. Your future doesn't belong to anyone else, it belongs to you. And the sooner you accept that responsibility, the sooner you can start building the life you were meant to live. The power to change your life is in your hands. Take responsibility for it and make it happen.